Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa, and today I'm going to show you how I made this cute little belly band with 3 pockets. I was inspired by a video I saw Gail Augustinelli do a couple days ago, and I'm going to show you how we did it. So this first version I used from scrap papers that I have. And I've showed it before, a bunch of cut-offs. These are thicker ones that I said I sorted to use as bases. So I pulled these apart. So I found 2 separate ones that I thought went well together. This is the top part. You can see the line. It was part of that somehow. And then this is where the pocket came from. Now this piece was a little thinner, kind of like this. So all I did was fold it in half and glued it together just to give it a little bit more strength. This one was thick enough to not worry about it. So these were the 2 pieces I did. I did cut them down a little because they were a little different sized. I cut this down to 3 inches wide, and then as well this became 3 inches wide, and these are 1.5 inches tall. Now ironically, or not ironically, luckily, some of those cards I made in yesterday's video with the freebie fit in these pockets. Look, cute. Like this one too would fit in there. Cute. Let's see, I got another tag here. So this happened to be some great orange color, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to put it in my orange journal. I said my orange journal was done, but I decided to add this. So I found this page that I thought this would look great on. Now, I could just glue it so that it is its own tag or what, but I'm going to make it into a belly band. It is, I forgot to tell you, it's 7.5 inches tall. Now, I believe she made hers 8 inches tall. And when I show you how I did it, I will explain why I decided to do 7.5 inches instead of 8 for this. So bear with me for a moment while I glue this one in. And we're going to glue it farther down so that top pocket has a bit of room to not stick out too far. Okay, and I could find something, I haven't found anything yet to stick in that middle pocket, but I could definitely put something in that pocket as well, and is that one. So I did throw just a little bit of ticket decorations. Those are those tickets I made with the paper, and this looks like it's coming off, which it is. This one's made from the paper, and this one was made from the washi tape. And then I've got a journal card that was left over that I thought would go well in this belly band, and it does. So there we go. One more added to the orange journal. So cute. All right, so let me show you how I made those. Not that they're difficult. The first part, or the first one that I made, was made from those strips like I showed you before, and they are all random. But what I would like to show you is why I thought it'd be great to be able to use 12 by 12 papers. I've got a Tim Holtz paper here, that's 12 by 12. They are double-sided, and there is some purple on here, so I thought this would be great for the purple journal that will be coming up after the red journal. So let me get my cutter. All right, so the reason that I decided that 7.5 would be great, 7.5 by 3 is, if you cut 3 inches off of this, you leave with a 9-inch piece, and the 9-inch piece would be great for a journal cover, or part of a journal, like on cover and chipboard. I did one that was, I believe, the green series, where I used some of this Tim Holtz paper. I think this was the Abandoned collection. They are double-sided, but I think I'm going to be able to just use one side for this belly band versus 2 sides. A lot of them are coordinating in the Tim Holtz stuff where you could flip it over, but this one, I think I'll just do the front side. So I'm going to cut it down to 3 inches, which is, like I said, I'm going to leave a 9-inch piece. And I'm pretty sure when Gail did her video, she did 3. She might have done 3.5. You could also do 3.5 as in theory. You've probably seen it before, where I took a 12-inch piece of paper and I cut it down to 8.5 by 11 to run through the printer. So 8.5 minus, or 3.5 is 12. So if I cut off a 3.5-inch piece, I'd have an 8.5 inch to run through the printer. But the Tim Holtz, being it's double-sided, I would never run these through the printer. So these are perfect, the double-sided, to do the 3-inch. But if I had a thicker single-sided with white on the back, I might think about doing a 3.5 so that eventually the other part could run through the printer. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to take this, and if I make this like the belly band, I can use this part for the pockets. And I need 1.5 inch 3 times. So 1.5 3 times is 1.5. 1.5 is 3. 1.5 is 4.5. So if I cut 4.5 inches off of this, 12 minus 4.5 leaves 7.5. So I think I'm going to use my other cutter, because then I can cut the 1.5 inches off. All right, so if I cut this 4.5, that leaves a 7.5 inch belly band. All right, and then the pieces left, I'm going to cut it to 3. This will cut 1.5, and then I'll cut it to 1.5. And now we have 3 pockets. Now again, if it was reversible that looked nice, I could do it. Not that this would be awful. It could be fun. Or we could do it this way and make them, because they're purple, purple, purple. Boy, now I don't know. I kind of do like that side. I don't like these two. So what if I did that, and what does I say, pay to the order, and that, and that. Nope, I think I'm going to do it this way. I think it's different enough. The back is a lighter purple, like a bluish purple, and then the top, or the pockets are more of a purple purple. You know, I'm going to go with my gut on it originally and do that. So nice and simple. I like to just round these corners with the tiniest little part of this punch, and get rid of the black or the white on the sides, just to crunch it up a little bit. Okay, now for the pockets, I'm going to put divots in there just because they're so close in color, and I'm going to try to do my best to center these. I think that is probably one of my hardest things to do. I don't know why. That was not too bad, but it is. Just putting a tiny divot in there. Be able to do it that way. Okay. Tiny divots. All right. Okay, so let's glue these down. And I want that one on the bottom, that one on the top, that one in the middle. Okay, I'm going to use our glitter glue just because I need it to stay strong and a fine line. So that's really all there is to it to make these pockets. Super simple, right? Right, I don't want it too far up. I want to leave room to be able to put something in there. And I'll put this one at the bottom. I probably should have started with the bottom one first, because there's less ambiguity of where that's going to go. I got to go all the way to the bottom because the edge is curved, but pretty far down. Line up the one side. Whoa. Line up the other side. And if for some reason it gets a little crooked and sticks out, you can always go back and trim it. And then this one is going to go somewhere in the middle. Not really somewhere in the middle, as even in the middle as I can get it. All right, that side is even, and there we go. yeah, cute. A little bit of decorations or numbers or snippets or tidbits or whatever. And like I said, those note cards from that previous videos might have to be trimmed down just a little, or that pocket just needs to be loosened. Yeah, those are cute. Okay, not all of them, some of them are wider, but good to know. And oh, that birdhouse might be. The birdhouse definitely reminds me of a Tim Holtzy kind of thing. I'll have to play around with that. And I was thinking about putting making a statement. Whoops. These might be too light. I like that color better. Yeah, we'll put one of these on there. Just ink the edge a little and glue that down. I'm not going to add anything else to this because I do have some ephemera in the purple package that I might find works good with this. But I think that is a nice little start for this. Yeah, these are great. I love this. So I said glue it in as a belly band on a page in the purple journal and put stuff in there. How easy. All right, I think I'm gonna we'll do a quick make and make a couple more out of the pre-cut ones because I'd like to empty that bin out and do a little bit of mix and matching. So hopefully you'll stay tuned and we can see what else we can make from these. Okay, I do have this one, which is another one of those Tim Holtz in purple. Maybe I'll make a second belly band for that one. And I do have this green would be good for this. Okay, so let's do that. This is thicker. This is, I think, a Tim Holtz one too. But yeah, I think we'll use those two as the first one. I think this is 3, right? 3? Is it 7.5 tall? It is 8.5 tall. So I'm gonna trim it down just an inch. And since actually yeah, I'll do the whole inch. I'd say I could do a 1/2 inch because technically it was pre-cut out, but I think I'll make it the same size. So 7.5, and these are going to be the 1.5 inch pockets. Probably the hardest thing is to cut 1.5 inches because I can't grab this end because it's underneath the safety bar, which is not the worst thing in the world, but okay, 3 of those. I'll go with that one. Yep, I like that. And let's see what else we got here. It could be fun. These letters would be fun. They're thin though, so they might have to be a pocket. Ooh, I like that color. That is pretty. All right, you are a bit wide. This is like 3.5, but again, that will work. I don't mind 3.5. That would be pretty with it. Is this 3.5? Yeah, 3.5. So as you can see, the cutoffs from when I cut 12 by 12s down to 3.5 was definitely helpful. So this is 11. So 11 minus 3.5 is 7.5, right? 7.5 and a half is 8. Yeah, 3.5. 3.5 off. So now I have a 7.5. Yep, I have a 7.5 inch tall, 3.5 wide, and we're going to use these pockets, and these will be fine. These little pockets, and I'm going to cut a piece that's 4.5, just because. Make it a little easier. Cut down to 3. And then cut down to 1.5. Those are 3 great pockets for that. All right, let's make another one. This is a great one. This one actually probably could go in the red journal. And this is 3.5 also. And are you 11 like I'm thinking? Yep, 3.5 by 11. So we're going to cut 1 inch off. Cut this end off. No reason. And I discovered, which is fun, this is my container that has the tiny little pieces. And I discovered when I went and put that last piece away that this backside has this little slot like a deposit. So I could go like this and put them in there. Like, how cute. I know, little, oops, one fell out. Little things amuse me. Makes it easy to save those little pieces. All right, so that's going to go there. So I got those 2. And this one is, okay, I cut the inch off. So now it is, I don't know why I cut the inch off of that. 10 inches minus 3.5 is 7.5. It should have been 11. I shouldn't have cut that inch off. All right, so we're going to have to improvise, I think. All right, I'm going to cut the, all right, 7.5 inches. I have to get pocket from somewhere else. Is going to be right there. I don't know what I was thinking. Should I use the letters? Might be a bit dark. Not that I have to use something that's over here, but you are too white. You I don't like. I think you're just too dark. I do like you. I don't mind you. All right, let's do that. We're gonna do this one again. So we're gonna cut it down to 4.5. Again, 2. 3. And 1.5. These won't be in the same journal because this has green neutrals. This is probably going to go in the red journal. All right, so let's put the other scraps back. Got a few of them out of my pile. All right, so I'll do a quick. So these are 3.5, which I think is going to be just fine. And we're gonna just snip the corners, and we'll do this one. I mean, they're definitely thicker belly bands. If you wanted to go smaller, you could, but then the pocket becomes tinier. So with this, there's a nice wide pocket. And this would probably be great on a page that is blank, where you, you know, put a digital or a scrap of paper in there that's blank, and it is white on one side, and you don't want white on one side. I probably shouldn't do all 3 together, but I give it a shot. Oh, it worked. Surprise! Usually these things don't. And if I'm off center, I'm off center the same on all 3 of them. You are thicker, so we are not going to do you together. Okay. right, so oop. Found it. Flung it right off the back of my, I don't think these needed as much. They are different enough from the page. Not that these words, but I don't like the Tim Holtz papers are a little bit wider, so I don't like the white showing on the side. These are not as wide, so I don't worry about them as much. Okay, let's glue these together. Now, I want to thank everybody who commented on my question about how often to do videos, and the majority of people said they liked shorter videos, which I kind of was leaning toward myself. Just knowing how I watch videos, like I see, like I have a choice between a video that's an hour and a half or one that's, you know, 25 minutes. Every time I'm going to pick the 25-minute one. Now, I do watch videos, like everybody's videos, on 1.75 speed. Now, if you don't watch people on a speed and you don't know about that, there is the little icon, looks kind of like a cogwheel, and you can change the playback speed from normal to quicker, slower. If you want a good laugh, watch somebody on really slow for a minute, and it's the funniest thing. I've done that before, and like I'm in tears. But I watch everybody on 1.75. Occasionally, there's a couple with some thicker accents from Europe that I might slow it down to 1.5. But it's funny because there's a few that I listen to all the time. Like I watch Gail Augustinelli, where I got this from. She does a video every day, and occasionally it'll pop up as normal speed, and I don't even recognize her. Like her normal voice to me is the 1.75. Now that I say that though, I watch my videos sometimes afterwards, and I barely understand myself under 1.75. I must talk much faster than most people. So I can't even say that I suggest you watching me at a faster speed. But I guess it's what you get used to. But I do not understand me, but I talk too fast. Okay, this is a little less wide than the 3.5, but that's okay. I centered it. We're good. But yeah, if you want to get through videos faster, and they're a little bit longer, and you don't change the speed, give that a try. Because if you listen to something at double speed, and there are some people out there that you probably could, they talk really slow, at least to me. And but a half an hour video, you watch at double speed, it's a 15-minute video. Just saying. All right, so I put the bottom one first to establish top one a little bit farther down, and center the middle one. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, yep, I think that's the right way. So I'd love to hear if you might be trying this idea. I think it's a great idea. Like I said, I saw it from Gail. She got it from somebody else. I think she got it out of a journal from somebody. Sorry, I can't remember who it was. And that it might not even have been their idea. I've said it before. There's like no new ideas out there. And I try to give credit where credit is due. But I'm not, I have to cut that one down. For some reason, that one's a little bit long. I'm not trying to take credit for something that I didn't think of, but there's a lot of things that I might get inspired from, and it's not even, it's sort of close to what it was, but it really isn't. And But it makes me think of something. So yeah, so this one I can tell, see how it's, I don't know if you can see it, but it's sticking out just a bit. So we're just going to go and trim that down. And now it's straight. So now if you want to ink the edges, because they're a little thicker, you can. Super cute. Whoops. I almost lost that off the back edge. Sometimes I regret getting this table and not putting it against the wall, but I got a shorter table and I put it away from the window so I can get and open the window at times and walk behind it. But then, as you've seen before, things like to just fall right off the edge. So we've got my tinier tags I made from that video, and right, super cute. They fit in wonderfully. I wonder if one of the bigger ones works. This is one of the bigger ones. And I think it's just, oh no, it does fit. It does fit. Those are the widest ones, the map one and the ledger one. So it can, because it's glued properly. Some of these get glued a little tighter, but yeah, so those will work. So if you got the freebie, linked in the coffee account for these, and make journal cards on them, they will fit. I need to glue that down. They will fit into these pockets. Okay, well, I don't think I'm going to decorate these. I think these are going to go into my stash. This is going to go into my purple folder so that I can add stuff to it from the purple ephemera. And these are going to go into, I might put this in the red one. I don't know what's going to go with it. I don't know the theme yet of the red one. I sort of do. I mean, I have the freebie of bricks and strawberries. And, oh, speaking of that, I wonder, I do have those. That might be cute. Let's put that on there. This is, it looks so white because of the paper, but once it comes off, it's not as white. Oh yeah, that's cute. I have another little one. These are just, they're tiny, but I think they're just a tad too big. But I might be able to. Oh, that fits perfectly. It goes right along that little dip. It might stick out just a hair. I see just the ever so little piece sticking out. Barely got that. All right, and let's put this one up here. Cute. All right. And I think we should add some numbers. I think I'll use these because they're kind of more neutrally brown. Yeah, that's cute. And put that one, and this one I think I'm going to try to find a long one. Oops. That's cute. I like it. Well, that was an unplanned decorating foray. So if you stood around to see that, hopefully you enjoyed it, because I think that is really cute. It's going to go into, like I said, the red journal with the strawberries. I love it. That'll go into my stash, and this will go for the purple one. Okay, well, that is going to be it. Whew, that was fun. I like those. So, if you enjoyed the video and I'd like to give it a thumbs up, I would appreciate it. If you have not subscribed to my channel and want to see further things like the red journal getting worked on, please hit the subscribe. And there is the first belly band we did for that. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. All right, I appreciate each and every one of you that has stopped by and hung around to the end. And as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.